Hello YouTube, this is Jay, and today I want to show you my little planted aquarium here. So this thing is a 6-gallon aquarium. That's about 22 liters. It is absolutely tiny. You can see my hand here. It's a really small tank, and I have it fully planted. So you can see I got some galaxy rasboras, also known as celestial pearl danios. You can see them swimming around there. And I have 4 neon tetras in here. And you can see I've got some ram's horn snails and some cherry shrimp. And I also have one Nano shrimp in here, but I don't see him at the moment. I have the front planted out with Hemianthus caldricoides, also known as Cuba. I got some willow moss, some rotala at the back. So it's fairly simple setup. And all the rocks and the branches you see I picked up in a nearby little mountain. So those are all the stuff that I scavenged. And that is my planted aquarium. The lights, this is all DIY, including the plastic. It's made of these DIY strips, LED strips. You can see on the outside, looks actually pretty nice, but in the inside, because it's DIY, you can see that it's kind of scruffy. I have some aluminum foil to reflect some of the light back. So those are the lights there. And I am running some DIY CO2, nothing fancy there, it's just yeast and sugar. So that is how I pump CO2 into this tank. And on the bottom here, I use this little, I don't know what you call this. I use this for my filter compartment. So if I open it up, you can see this is a plastic food container, which I've repurposed. So I cut out the corners, I sawed off the corners of this lid so I can fit in the input and output. And inside, you can see I got some filter media in here, biomedia, inside this little sack, little holes in there. And this is where the water overflows into. So this tank I have drilled at the bottom. So this tank, you can see the plastic here. So this tank has a plastic bottom, so I could easily drill a hole there. And I've connected a little acrylic tube that you can see up here in the corner. That acrylic tube runs to the bottom of the tank, and I've built a little overflow on it. So the water overflows into there and flows down to this filter compartment. And I have a little plastic bottle wrapped with some socks, some old socks, and that's the mechanical filtration. And that's the biological filtration. And then I have a small 3-watt pump that pumps water all the way up. And again, I've drilled the bottom of the tank, and I built this overflow out of some transparent acrylic. That's how the water gets back in the tank. You can see this thing here is the CO2. So instead of running the CO2 inside the aquarium, I'm running it into the sump. And a lot of people don't know this, but it's actually perfectly fine to run your CO2 into the sump. It works just fine. And it looks a lot less messy because the CO2 wires and stuff running into the tank, that doesn't look very nice, so that is why I'm running it in the sump. It works just fine. So that is how this tank works. You can see the fish are all up in front of the tank because they think I'm going to feed them. They're getting all excited there. And this white thing is just a little bit of leftover squid that I'm feeding to the shrimp. Oh, and the mono shrimp decided to come out. Not sure if you can see him there. He's right there. Thanks for watching, guys. That was my planted aquarium. See you later.